Hey guys, Games for the Mind here. How you doing? Today I'm going to walk you through a Flash game called Switch. This game was made by Neutral back in 2008, and I decided to do this one first because it's the easiest that they made, and I like to go from easiest to hardest when I do things. So let's get started. Alright, first you're going to want to click on this blue book and lift it up and grab that clue there. You can also look under this piece of furniture, but there's nothing there. You can look at this painting on the wall too, but there's nothing important with that either. You zoom in on the red trash can, there's nothing in there, but if you look very carefully behind this piece of furniture here, you'll see sticking out from the back is a wooden plank, so go ahead and grab that. And now, if we look at the couch, you can lift up the pillow, but there's nothing hidden underneath that. But if you look carefully on the top of the couch here, there's something sticking out from behind it. And we examine it closer, and it is a orange star piece. So pick that up. And if we look underneath the couch, there's a second wooden plank. Go ahead and pick that up. We can zoom in on the clock if you want to, but there's nothing to do there. So head on to the right and look at the green tree. And if you look very closely, you'll see that right here there is a green square piece that's blending in with the leaves. So take that. If you click on the red box, you notice that it has a keyhole, so we're going to need a key to open it. But if you zoom in on the yellow box, there's nothing in there right now. But if you look over here, there's a piece of paper we can look at. So go ahead and open that. You'll see that there are a total of 4 different colored shape pieces. We have only 2 out of the 4 right now. There's a cute little teddy bear on here. And most importantly, there is a picture of a train, a toy train on some train tracks, and we see an arrow pointing to this track in particular to signify that there's something important with that one. And if we count the tracks in front of the train, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks away from the front of the train. So keep that in mind. There's this 4x4 grid in front of us that we can't do anything with yet, but we will later. And if you look up at the ceiling here, you see that there's a trap door, but we can't reach it yet. So head on to the right. Click on the carpet. Not there. Click on the beach ball. Move the beach ball out of the way. And you'll see that there's something underneath the carpet. You can see the little bulge. So click on the corner of the carpet to move it. And grab your third shape piece. Now click on the train tracks, and we can click on that 8th piece of track that I pointed out before. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we grabbed it. And now I want to point out now that underneath the teddy bear, there's a button. You don't have to push it yet. It won't do anything for you. But it's there for later, so keep that in mind. There's also a portrait of a fish on the wall, which is held in by a bent nail, so keep that in mind. This door is, our main objective is to get out through the store. Obviously, it's going to be locked right now. So come over here, click on this wooden toy car to see that this is where we're going to put our 4 shapes once we get the 4. And there's also a string attached to the toy car. If you look under the bureau, there's nothing under there for us. In fact, all of these drawers are locked except for this middle one. So open that and grab that green piece of paper there. If you examine it and click on it, nothing happens yet, but we will be able to do something with that later. Look on top here, you see a portrait of a dog with a button under it. So we found 2 buttons, can't do anything with that yet either. And we see a piggy bank that we can lift up, but there's nothing underneath it. We can't do anything with that yet. Okay. So we've been around the whole room. Now what can we do? Well, what about that piece of track that we picked up? Doesn't really look like anything, but when you click on it, it turns into a key. So that key opens this top drawer. So open it up, get the scissors, and with those scissors, we can come over here and cut this piece of string so that we can take it. Now what we can do is zoom in on one of the pieces of wood, put the other one right next to it, and then take the string and tie them both together. Now we have a really tall piece of wood, and what we can do with that is open up the trapdoor. Do that, and a key falls down. So it fell into the yellow bucket here, and it will be used to open the red box. So open that, and we get a book of origami. It looks like this book teaches us how to make origami from a piece of paper, which becomes important. But also, you can keep flipping the pages, and if these squiggles are any indication, you should keep flipping them. And eventually, you'll find this key taped to one of the pages, so grab that. We can put the book away now. And that key opens this bottom cupboard here. So open that up and grab the mallet. And with this mallet, I really want to break this piggy bank. But you see it just makes it bounce. So bounce it 4 times total. And a coin will fly out of it. The coin fell down over here in this corner. Now if we examine the coin and click on it, we flip it over and you get a random 3-digit number. It'll be different for you, but mine is 599. So what can we do with a 3-digit number? Well, you might have noticed this thing on this cupboard here is a 3-digit number. So I'm going to input 599, and that should open it now. And it looks at first like there's nothing in here, but if you click on the top, you see that someone taped the last shape piece to the top there. So now that we have all 4 shape pieces, we can put them all in here and open this thing up. And we get a pair of pliers. Now the pair of pliers can be used to pull out this nail so that this, when you click on the portrait of the fish, it comes down to reveal another button. And also we see this strange looking indentation here, or this outline. So what can we do with this outline? Well, remember we learned from the book how to make origami. So now we can click a bunch of times on this paper and make an origami bird. And if you look at the body of it here, it looks kind of like the shape of that outline. So we can put it on there. Okay, so now what do we do with all the buttons? Well, if you click on this piece of paper that we got at the beginning, and you flip it over, we see another clue, and this clue shows us fish, then bear, then dog, then bird. Well, if you remember, we found buttons at the fish, the bear, and the dog. We haven't found the bird one yet, but this clue seems to indicate that we push the buttons in that order. So, starting with the fish, we push that one first, and that'll turn on a light and reflect the origami bird onto here. So the second one was the bear, so click on that one. And the third one was the dog. And the fourth one was a bird. Well, if we look at the bird shadow here, You click on the very tip of its tail right up here. You'll zoom in on a part of the wall. You'll see that the wallpaper is sort of torn here. Click on it to tear it all the way, and it will uncover the fourth button. So push that, and if you pushed all four of them in the correct order, the lights should turn off. If the lights did not turn off, you'll have to do it again. So what did that do? Well, there's a couple things illuminated in the room now. First, this 4x4 grid is now all illuminated. And also, this cupboard right here, this used to be dark, but now it's illuminated, so you can click on it and open it. You see that these buttons are also 4x4. So you would expect it to affect the grid behind us. So let's test that out. Let's just click the top left button. Turn around, and it turned off the top right square. The reason why it's the top right square is because it is on the other side of the buttons, and so of course it's going to be inverted. So that turns the lights off. Well, if we take this clue and flip it back around, you see that this is a 4x4 grid, and the white spaces indicate the ones where you want the light to stay on, and the rest of them you have to turn off. So you can see the clue from up here so that you can click on the buttons while you're looking at it. So I'll do this row by row. So the first row shows that the first one from the left is illuminated. That means it's going to be inverted, remember? So that's going to signify the first button from the right we want illuminated, which means we don't push that button. We want to push the other ones. So push the other ones. And the second row has the first two illuminated for me. And by the way, this pattern is randomized as well, so it'll be different for you. It's important that you understand this. So the first two from the left are illuminated. That means that those squares actually on the buttons mean the first two from the right. So we're going to leave those two alone and push the other two. Third row has the fourth one from the left illuminated, so we're going to leave the fourth one from the right alone and push the other three. And finally, the first and third from the left are illuminated, so we're going to leave alone the first and third on the right, starting from the right, okay? Now let's turn around and see if our pattern matches with the one on the paper, and indeed it looks like it does. So now that it does, you can take your coin and put it in the coin slot here. And if you did everything correctly, then you should hear that noise and your coin will not come back to you. If you did it incorrectly, the coin will drop down into this coin return slot and you can grab it and try again. So what did that do? Well, turn around and you'll see that from the open trap door, this key on a string dropped down. So click on it once to turn the lights back on, click on it again to grab the key. Now this key does open the door, but I am not going to go through the door, okay? I'll show you why. But zoom in on the door, unlock it with the key, and click once to open the door, but don't go through yet, okay? So click once, open the door, but go back. The reason we're going back is because we just unlocked two hidden Easter eggs in this game that only appear once the door is open. So come over here and click on the trap door, and we find our first hidden animal, which is a green cat that appeared, and he's looking at us, but you can click on him and he'll quickly go away. But what about the other animal? Well, if you look at our inventory, we still have the mallet. So click on the mallet and throw it up here. And you will knock down the little chick, and he falls into the yellow bucket. And you can click on him as many times as you want, and he'll make that noise. But now that we found the two Easter eggs, we have now officially done everything, and so we can leave. Alright guys, this has been Games for the Mind. Thanks for watching this quick walkthrough. I hope to have Platonic done pretty soon, but this was pretty fun to do in the interim. Alright, well, I'll see you guys later. Take care. Have a good day.